What are you afraid of? Tacos and burritos? Come on.
Right? I haven't watched this
What the fuck?
specific clip yet. I've seen just brief parts of this, so this is a brand new clip to me too.
Today is the cartel supposed to be in the park? The sandwiches look really deadly.
Crap. So when I first saw it and started it, initially my reaction, like my raw reaction is, why are they there? They don't belong there. You know?
Well, the answer is he's harassing blue areas where there's high immigrant populations because they were dumb enough to vote for him, and now he's taking it back out on anybody that's going to turn on him.
This meets the definition of terrorism.
Authoritarianism at a minimum.
Right.
But yeah, to show up to a park where families are just out, enjoying their day, where there's no gang activity, there's no cartel members staging, there's no violence happening, to show up in full riot gear, ready to murder a bunch of people with heavy artillery and weapons and automatic weapons and grenades. Like, look at these guys. They're set up to go take over Kuwait. Come on.
Yeah. They're not set up to keep peace. That's not a show of peace.
Well, look at this guy on the left. He's got a bulletproof vest, armored helmet, mask, ballistics glasses. He's taped up to make sure that everybody knows he's a police officer. He's carrying 3 clips of AR-15 ammo. He's got the next guy to him has multiple clips of AR-15 ammo. He's got his gun on his, they're armored to the tilt. This is, in my understanding, this is as heavy as they can get. And they're walking in there with mask gear and coordination. They're ready for violent, ballistic level response. This is not what you would expect for a group of kids playing soccer in the park on a beautiful afternoon. Come on. This is totally the government harassing LA with everything they've got. And they want, remember how I told you a while back, they want somebody to fight back. That's why they're going in it with everything they got. They want somebody to get injured so they can go martial law. Like, this is, they're provoking. They're trying to cause an incident.
That is obvious, right?
Now, the big question is, Trump recently said, well, if they elect that communist, I'm going to go take over New York. And if they don't do right and do the way I want in Washington, D.C., I'll take that over too. Well, now he's trying to take over L.A. by forcing this kind of stuff and forcing this. And he's talking about taking over multiple states. And the biggest question a lot of people should be asking is, why isn't this happening in Florida, which is one of the largest illegal immigration locations in the country? Why isn't this happening in Texas, one of the biggest illegal immigrations? Like, that's where they all happen, is Texas and Florida. Why aren't they there doing this? Because they're red states, not blue states.
Right. And, so when I watched this first clip, or that clip, I watched it a few more times, and I ran into a couple other ones that were the opposite. Like, it was telling me a different story. And in the story of the other videos, it was drone footage, and it was flying over like drug addicts and like ne'er-do-wells in the park. So they were telling a story of, you know why we're sending the ICE in there? Look at all the horribleness that's going on in this park. We're sending ICE in to clean it up. But the footage was not from that day. It was from, this is what normally goes on at MacArthur Park, is what they were saying.
Do you have that image I sent you with the genocide steps?
Send it to me in Messenger on Facebook. We can pull it up.
So there's this thing about the different steps of genocide, and we're on like steps 7 and 8 right now. And if you look at it, this falls right under it. Like, this is what they did to the Jews. Go find them and beat them with everything you got.
Did you send it?
No, give me a second.
Oh, here, I'm gonna show you the other, what I think is propaganda from the other side.
Yeah, you know what they did?
It's unbelievable.
It's called Tenement Square.
Right. But see the story that they're telling about this?
This is what local police should be handling, not National Guard, not immigration services.
Right, not the freaking military.
That's what the police.
Gestapo.
And they've proven in multiple other places that you don't need, like, a hobo doing meth doesn't need 40 people on horseback and another 30 with AR-15s and multiple banana clips full of ammunition to go take care of them. What you need is medics and some police officers.
Psychologists and therapists.
Well, you don't need those on scene. My point is, right. For on scene, you need medics, medical people, and maybe a few police officers if shit gets rowdy. You don't need a full 2 groups armed to the teeth and tanks to take care of a couple of meth addicts that are passed out. No, this is overreach. This is abuse of power. This is, I sent you in a messenger. This is completely a push in order to get a tactical response so they can get martial law in place. Your rights
we voted
repealed.
for this. This is what we voted for.
No, I didn't vote for this shit. But honestly, in all fairness, I don't think 80% of the country voted for this. I think there are a portion that did vote for this, but I don't think almost anybody voted for this.
I question that. I would question it that no one.
This is not the
really
party of
knew that
Lincoln.
This would happen when they voted for it. Like people thought that deportation was going to be awesome, but I think that picture is getting uglier by the day.
Well, revoking citizenships for those who went through the correct process to get it, green cards and all that kind of, yeah, look at this. Divide us into us and them. Like they've been talking about how this person or that person's hurting us for years. They are forced to identify themselves. Well, you know what? New identification practices are in there. Discrimination. They've repealed DEI and all these other things, made them non-protected statuses. Now we can begin discriminating based on color and all sorts of stuff. People equate it to animals. I mean, they call immigrants animals all the time and vermin and all that kind of stuff. They've talked about this for years. Trump's own words can be cited in video after video. Government creates specific groups to enforce these policies. That's ICE. Government broadcast propaganda. Welcome to Fox News or Truth Social. Official action to remove and relocate people. We're deporting people all over the place. Some of them people that obtain citizenship legally. That next step is the one that we're starting to run into. So theft of property, and my understanding is already starting to happen. We're already in that. People are dying in ICE custody through abuse and neglect. I think that's classified as murder, and trial massacres are.
When this incident happens, when this big incident happens, when ICE overreaches and someone decides to do something about it, I think that's where number 8 comes in. Beginning of murders, theft, and property, trial massacre.
It's already here. Like number 8's already happening now. So like if you go look up ICE detention center deaths, we have tons of people dying in ICE detention or being shipped to areas where they're getting killed. Like it's happening right now. 9 is the one that is next, and that's what they're trying to get to. They're trying to revoke citizenship on a bunch of people, and they're starting to round them up in places like Alligator, Alcatraz, and they're talking about building multiple others of those across the country. Texas lined up with their wallet out, ready to make that happen in their state. Like that's next, and they're going to let people die in there. That's the elimination of the people, and the government's already denying that it has done anything wrong. And if you look at the Albrado Garcia. Oh yeah. If you look at Albrado Garcia, like the judge in that case, it's like, what the hell are you guys doing? It's
yeah.
Did you deport him by accident or no? Well, no, we didn't. He was a criminal. It's like, well, prove it. We can't do that. We can't do that. Sorry. And it's like, okay, well, then you deported him. Well, I have it on tape that you said you deported him by accident. Well, that wasn't right. And then they're like, well, we did deport him by accident, but we're going to deport him again if you release him. It's like, what are you doing? You admitted you deported him by accident. You were forced to return him. They can't let him out of custody by the judge because they've already told everybody they're going to deport him again illegally. It's like, where's the arrests for the people doing this shit? This is terrorism. This is federal level kidnapping. This is federal kidnapping.
Thank God.
Unbelievable. So we're already through that whole list. It's just a matter of it ramping up now. And wait until these guys start firing on civilians with live. All right. So the reality is this is all a smokescreen. Like they know this is hurting people. Trump has publicly admitted that it's hurting people. He's talked about slavery. He's talked about new green cards. He's talked about how immigrants can be good. So he knows this is all smokescreen. All this is a way of distracting the community, America, from what's really going on, which is the tax cuts, the wealth rebalancing, and the grabbing of power. This is a horrendous thing that he's using to distract America by having something horrendous in order for you guys not to be able to follow the other horrendous thing, which is the power grab, the totalitarian authoritarianism, the Epstein file debacle, like all this other stuff is inconsequential for a lot of Americans because the illegal immigrants, which are only illegal because of what Trump's doing, is taking precedent. And arresting somebody at their green card hearing or, shooting a kid with a beanbag gun or whatever craziness, or running them down with horses. There's videos of them running people down with horses. Like, this is not humane. This is not how a civilized country should be dealing with people, because these are human beings. And, you know, if there was a comment I saw, and it really exemplifies this issue. If they're hunting people down based on tax forms where they've submitted taxes, then we're not going after the illegals that are hurting America. We're going after illegals that are paying taxes. Trade deals. Where the fuck are they, Chris? Come on.
Trade deals? What do you mean? He already did 90 for 90. We already verified that on the last podcast. We got another 9 that he signed today. Did you see his adorable little letters that he sent to, was it Uzbekistan or these countries that are countries?
I want to see the one for Canada.
Well, there were letters like he is informing countries on the lowest status social media platform on the planet. Like, that's how he gives orders. That's how our government speaks to the people, is through Truth Social, which no one is on. Are you on it? No, you're not. None of you.
I love that he takes pictures of his Truth Social posts, and then the White House puts those out on the official Twitter. That's so funny. Here's the official letter from Truth Social.
He's so lazy, he can't like do the normal things a person would do to like go to work. Like, those are just regular work tasks, man. Like, go to your office or something.
Man.
I know he's just sitting around smelling like shit in his golden line freaking Mar-a-Lago mansion, making decisions.
You could tell when they're his because they're written by what feels like a 5-year-old.
Oh, yeah. All of them, because they're all like capitalized. The official letters that he sent to the other countries, they have, what do you call it?
Grammatical errors.
Like, he capitalized grammar, incorrect spelling. Like, he's all over the map, and he's communicating to the leader of other countries, or the entire country, really, because everyone sees it.
Yo, Trump, have you heard of spell check? Just saying.
I'm going to say no, he hasn't. I don't think he knows how to use a computer, and I've heard that is true, that he only communicates via text or social media or something like that.
Well, I did read a report that the people that give him the briefs knew that he wasn't reading it, so they turned it into the shortest bullet point they possibly could, and they make him sit down with it now.
That was his first term, though, right?
No, that's his term.
I thought they were flirting with the idea now to make content with it that is styled after Fox News, just so he would fucking read it. Doesn't that scare you guys? I know it's funny because we're talking about it and it's funny to say out loud, but the president doesn't know what's going on in the world. He has briefings every day that he's not taking that have very important shit, and he's not taking that in. He's making decisions on what's in it, but he's not reading what's in it.
Well, you heard about that arms shipment to Ukraine, right?
That Hegseth held up, and then when he was asked about it in his committee hearing, he didn't even know. He's like, I don't know. Why don't you tell me? Like, what the fuck?
Who's running this shit?
Yeah, he's like, I don't know. You saying that I did it? I don't fucking know who did it. I just work here.
You're the fucking president.
Yeah, what are you, the maintenance guy? What are you doing? This is your house, homie. Answer
You're beating up old people, man.
Yeah. He's just pathetic. It's embarrassing as an American that can speak English and communicate coherently when I see how he communicates with the leaders of other countries. Super embarrassing. My 13-year-old communicates more effectively than Donald Trump.
So how do you feel about these deals like with Vietnam, where we get no tariffs on our products shipped to them, and we're taxing all the products into the U.S. at 28 to 25%?
I think it's pathetic. We're going after a trade deal with Vietnam. Like, we're pursuing a trade deal with Vietnam. Like, what was so wrong?
Go do something that's hard. Go try and accomplish something that's hard. You may win, you may lose, you may succeed, you may fail. I'll tell you what, you'll be better.
Still think your best days are behind you? Think again. Bucked Up's pre-workouts, energy drinks, creatine, and even apparel are built for men like you, over 40, ready to do something hard. Go to buckedup.com, use code MPmedia1, and save. You might win, you might lose, but you'll always come out stronger. It's not too late.
Wrong with our trade situation with Vietnam. That's how I feel about it. Like, we didn't need to do any of it.
Yes, but then the 50% tariffs on steel, and now we're talking about 200% tariffs on pharmaceuticals. That's going to go well.
Man, it's so hard to follow the tariff situation right now because they change so often that I am completely out of the loop. Honestly, I get more of my tariff information from you than anywhere else. Because when I see the content online about the tariffs, it's kind of the same way that I'm explaining it right now. Like, I don't fucking know. I don't know. There's 10% over here. There's 30% over there. I'm paying more for. I don't have no idea.
It's kind of like the weather here. Wait 5 minutes. It will change.
Right. But you won't
Tacos Tuesday's coming up.
And there will be no warnings.
I don't I don't think Americans realize just how much fun the 200% tariffs on pharmaceuticals was going to be. Wait till
2100?
nobody here can get their pharma medication. Like
Right.
all you guys that are on antidepressants, you're screwed.
Be super sad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
And I love how people are like, well, we're going to get them liberals. It's like, you do realize this affects y'all too, right? This is not just tariffs on the blue states. These are tariffs into the U.S., period.
I don't think they believe that, Jonathan. I think they believe that it's only tariffs on liberals.
I still don't believe Trump understands what a tariff is.
Oh, I'm 100% certain he doesn't.
I
You can
love
take that to the
Walmart.
bank.
I love what Walmart said. They're like, well, we're going to raise prices. Screw you, Trump. Because, no, I told you guys to eat it. It's like, no.
But that's a good window into his soul. He's like, he literally thinks he can tell anyone what to do and they need to do it.
Well, that's what a king does, right?
Crazy. I don't know. I wonder what that feels like.
That's authoritarianism, my friend. That's
Gotta
exactly
feel great
what
waking up in the morning like everyone is my bitch today. Like what am I gonna have everyone do for me today? Must be a good life.
Makes you think a little bit about Epstein Island sometimes when he's like, what is he like there too?
Right. But people are gonna defend him till the day that they die, and that sucks. But now you understand why we still have Hitler fans around, you know, or converted. Like most people in the KKK around here, they're American or Swedish or they're not German, they're not Nazis. They learned that.
I learned that a Nazi salute is actually a punishable offense in Germany. If you
It
do a
is.
Nazi salute in front of the police, they'll arrest you.
It's illegal. Yeah, I've heard that as well. Germans hate Nazis, guys. Germans are good people.
Americans are supposed to hate Nazis.
There was a time when that was the collective, that was our collective. Now measles is coming back. Where Nazis are coming back. Who else is coming back?
1920s all over again.
That's what he wants to do to make America great again. Voter suppression is happening. I mean, maybe they're trying to reverse civil rights, but they have to do it step by step.
Don't forget coal.
Coal. Bring back coal.
And oil. Bring it back.
Yeah. Let's warm up the earth and see what happens.
Yeah, we're going through a cooling period, right? It'll be fine.
That's what I heard. Yeah. I don't know. I'll try to get Neil deGrasse Tyson on the pod and we can talk about global warming. So far, he's avoiding me.
Well, maybe the aliens will save us.
Yeah. Maybe I'm an alien.
Good God, get me out of here, kid.
All right. Well, that's what's going on with the tariffs, man.
Nothing.
It's not a good situation.
So what's your expectation on the tacoing? How long do you think he'll give before he tacos out?
I think he's going to continue to do that until he dies.
No. Like this round of tariffs, will he taco out before August 1st or
tomorrow
after?
Morning? I don't know. Tomorrow or December? He doesn't know what he's going to do. Everything that's happening right now is all based around Steve Bannon's quote, flood the zone with shit. Gives us plenty to talk about, but we're all confused about everything. So it's working, guys. Steve Bannon, you did it, buddy. The explosive new twist in the Trump and Epstein saga. Woo! From the secret meetings and mysterious connections to the jaw-dropping allegations that just won't go away. This scandal has everything. Power, money, and a cast of characters straight out of hell. A political thriller.
Don't forget the murder. We can't forget the murder.
And the murder. Jonathan, with all these rumors, all the leaked documents, and the media frenzy swirling around Trump and Epstein right now, what is your take? Is this just more political theater, or are we finally about to see some real accountability at the highest levels? Let's get into this.
Oh, no, we're not. There's no accountability to have here. Everybody is on the side of protect Trump, and everybody is lying their asses off to protect Trump because Trump is on that list. The list has been out for years. People have already reviewed the transportation list from the pilot. There's been numerous testimonies, affidavits, statements, his comments himself. Like, it's obvious what the actual resolution is or the actual answer is, but they will not release that information. In fact, I very much suspect when they said there is no client list is because it's been destroyed. The videotapes have been destroyed. All evidence that could possibly link Trump, in my mind, is probably burnt to a crisp somewhere.
Doesn't this
gone
kind of put
forever.
Everyone that was trying to, like Dan Bongino, Kash Patel, everyone that was creating this excitement around the Epstein list before, like when Trump was running, they were all excited.
Oh, yeah.
They were creating all this hype. How do they come out of this now? Have you seen them on TV trying to explain that?
Oh, they're going to, what are you going to do? Who's going to prosecute him? Supreme Court won't go after him. No judge is going to go after him. They can't prove anything anymore. It's gone. And
Right.
As long as the MAGA controls the courts and controls the justice, this shit's over. Epstein
there is some stuff about this minute this minute missing in the Epstein while he was in jail. Apparently, according to Pam Bondi, there was a minute missing, and that minute is explained by a glitch in the system that occurs every night at the same time. So they push the ball down the field a little bit further because no one has evidence of that yet. And she's
Move the
like, we're
field
waiting
post,
for the
yeah.
videos to prove it. I think they're full of shit.
Well, I'm sure. Well, okay. So, do you know how hard it is to hang yourself in your jail cell? It ain't easy, especially when you're supposed to be on watch. Like,
Right.
Does it happen? Sure, it does happen. I know people have been affected by that exact scenario.
Absolutely.
On the other hand, he was supposed to be under guard. Somebody was supposed to be watching him. And there's a lot of rumors going around that kind of point to it not being accidental. Like, where did he get a chair from? How did he get all this stuff to do? I don't know. But I'm not an official investigator for this, but the timing sounds suspicious. The whole thing, like, you go, oh, well, he committed suicide. Like, where's the camera footage of this? Where's the guards who are watching its testimony? Oh, they're gone. The guards that watch this are gone, supposedly, never to be seen again. And everybody was trying to blame Clinton at the time for doing this, and now it's like, well, you guys claimed that she did this. Where's your proof now? Oh, he committed suicide. So anything that protects, and then if you add on top of it, it's like, well, Giselle's still in jail. How much longer has she got? Like, I can expect her to have a falling out a window level event here before long, because she's the last loose end.
Maybe she already made her deal. Like, I think she's in prison for life. Don't quote me on that. Leave it in the comments if I get that wrong.
That sounds right.
Maybe she cut a deal to live the rest of her life. Like, hey, just don't release that list.
What list? It's gone.
They didn't need to talk about this list so much. Like, they screwed themselves by creating the mystery around this list, and then now they have to cover it up. Well, and they all look stupid.
And it's not just the one. Like, numerous people have mentioned this list and that there's information on it. There's numerous reports of videotapes of these events happening at the island. It was hugely known by a bunch of different people that this is going on. But I think the big thing is they're going to go, nope, didn't happen, and then just, move on. And it's probably over. I think the chance to get Trump for what he possibly did, I'm not saying he definitely did it. What I'm saying is everything I've heard said he definitely did it.
And his behavior. So let's analyze his behavior that we've seen in public growing up. Has everyone seen the clip when he's describing his daughter, how if she wasn't his daughter, he would date her, describing his physical attraction?
There's eyewitness testimony that's on videotape. There's eyewitness testimony on videotape, supposedly. Now, I haven't seen it, obviously, because that's not public knowledge, but talks about one of the girls that was participating in one of the events. She was underage. She was sexually assaulted, physically assaulted, and with another girl on the island. And that was one of the things that supposedly went on affidavit. And then she miraculously died not long afterwards in a car wreck. And there's been tons of testimony saying that there's plenty of documentation. It's just all magically gone now.
This lady that they were trying to hang the Epstein case on, I think her name was Virginia something, and I heard this story today. I don't know if it's true or not. I just saw a video, but they were saying that her testimony was that she was raped by multiple people many different times. She was a homeless person who was brought in by Epstein and basically groomed and sent all over the world as a massage person or whatever, and was made to have sex with groups of men and stuff like that. But what they're saying is her credibility was so shot that they couldn't even hang a case on her. She couldn't really, it was just so bad that they didn't have a case. I don't know if it's true.
Oh, yeah, that's the problem. It's like the documentation's probably all in a pile of ash right now. Pile of ash somewhere.
And Prince Andrew ended up paying, I think she was the one that got a partial settlement from him, making it look like validating her story then, right? If she's getting paid off by someone in the royal family, then that looks like a guilt, is what that looks like.
Well, if you really get into it, there's all this different testimony about all this different stuff. So the theories that I've really enjoyed, the Everyday Spy guy was talking about this, and he was saying that Epstein tried to recruit a whole bunch of different people, and he was actually the liaison between anybody that had the money, including Russia, to try to get whatever. He was the liaison. And there's talk of how he tried to recruit Stephen Hawking in order to get information on building nuclear bombs for the Russians back in the day, or Iran or something like that. And, he tried to do a bunch of different stuff. And the other thing too is there's a lot of information about he wasn't doing this for the money on the actual acts. He was doing this to record them, and they're supposedly, or there at least used to be, and that's what they told us they had, were recordings of a bunch of people that went to this island and participated in this horrificness, and that those tapes were supposed to be somewhere. And then we heard that the FBI has them, and now they're magically gone. So multiple confirmations that existed from people involved and people blackmailed. And then supposedly there's logs of this information, and then it was supposedly reviewed, and now it just doesn't exist. FBI lied for their ass, as far as I can tell. Now,
for sure
I
they
can't
lied,
say it
but what sucks about
100% because
situation,
I'm
we don't know
not.
what they lied about. They lied about covering it
Well,
up. Or
they lied about
nothing?
some part of it. Well, and that's the thing, though. It's like they said very clearly they had the list. Numerous people in power said they had the list, and then now the spokesperson for the White House goes, well, she really said that she just had papers. It's like, no. She very clearly, on multiple occurrences, along with Trump and others in the group, clearly stated they had the client list. So to go, there's no client list, when multiple presidencies, multiple cabinets, multiple prosecutors, multiple FBI heads have all said that there is a list, to just go, oopsie, there's no list now. Sounds like to me, it's like, oopsie, I burnt it up. There's no list.
Yep. Here's what I saw when I saw Carolyn Levitt say that from the press briefing. What I heard is her giving instructions to Pam Bondi. Hey, this is what you got to say when they ask you about it at the cabinet meeting that they never had. All of a sudden they have another cabinet meeting, and then Trump is overly emotional about the Epstein thing. He's like, I can't believe you guys are talking about the Epstein thing. Why are we talking about that? And then Pam Bondi goes in and says exactly what Caroline Levitt told her to say. That's what I saw.
So let's play devil's advocate for a second. One of two things is happening, right? It has to be one of two things. Either nothing actually happened on the island with Trump, or it did. It has to be one of those two. Can't be anything else, right? If it did, then there's probably evidence of it based on all the testimony that's come out, all the eyewitnesses, all the information. There's probably something nefarious. So if there was, then all this stuff just magically disappearing as soon as Trump takes office for the second time, so that there's no risk of reprisal for that information, makes a lot of sense, right? Yeah. If there wasn't anything and Trump just happened to be at the island, because his name is on the flight log multiple times, it's a known, like, that information leaked out years ago.
Yeah, it's hidden in the deposition records. Maybe we'll find it for the next, but he has a name.
The flight logs are public. Like, they made those went out to the public. I don't know if they intentional or leaked or whatever, but those have been reviewed. Trump's name has been found in it. It's not, in my opinion, that's not for debate. His name is on the flight logs to the islands where this shit was going on. Is there a chance that this guy who likes him young, talks about how, what's his name, provides him young, and talks about how sexy girls underage are, did not participate in events with that? Yeah, I don't know. Right. It's out there, guys. It's all out there. Trump's name's in here. Control F, baby.
Can you control F on a...
Not on a video, but on that kind of stuff, maybe. And then Trump is listed under other names in different parts, and they talk about that. Go find somebody that's done the reviewing and done the highlighting and all that kind of stuff. It's out there. His name's on it. He's been to the island. There's pictures of him on the plane with Giselle and Epstein and young girls flying to the island. There's pictures that they posted. It's out there on the internet. Have fun with it.
Right. I see you guys. A lot of you guys on TikTok keep arguing with me about this shit. Man, it's right here. Look it up.
The Google. Search the Google. And
Use the Google.
Oh, man. Use the Google. But anyway, all right. So either there's tons of information and they've destroyed it now, or they're going to just obfuscate it for, like, there's no reason for them to hold on to it. If he's so heavily involved, then getting rid of it permanently and no chance of backtracing it makes sense. Now, if he wasn't involved in anything, but Bill Clinton or one of those people or anybody they don't like being on that list, that shit would have been made public like day one. So the reason that went from, we're going to release it, I promise, to what list? is only because it implicates too many Republicans that it would disrupt the whole thing if they put it out and they know it's an egg on their face. So they had to walk away from it. It's the only Occam's razor dictates that the only answer is that multiple Republicans, or at least Trump, is implicated in really heinous acts through the documentation that's been provided. That's the only answer that makes any plausible sense. Because if it was anything else, that shit would be out there and they'd be going after the people on the list. And
the
when
way he answered the question on if he would release the files, the way he answered that question is enough just by itself for me to be like, yo, he's full of shit.
And the same thing with that minute being missing. Like, come on. They would have announced that ahead of time.
Logically. Like, you would have to have a plan, like a very serious plan. Like, if you know you have a minute or whatever, like, to get in, make it look like a suicide. Like,
if the minute,
you have to go in and choke him real quick, and then tie him
if
up.
the minute thing was legitimate, like the system goes down, they would have prefaced the video when they launched it with that.
When they
would have
first
said,
came out.
"Hey guys, we know this looks suspicious.
Yeah.
Here's the sworn affidavit where the guy says there was a glitch in the system. Here's all the information you need. This is to back it up for us." And they wouldn't have just released it and go, "Oh, no, you found the missing minute. Oh my goodness. Right. Well, it was a glitch. Sorry."
You got to address that.
They're lying their asses off.
Right. That shit needs to be covered up front.
Let's be honest. Hillary didn't benefit from that guy's death.
No.
Just being honest.
Dude, the media coverage has been so intense. You think that's helping uncover the truth, or it's just adding more noise and confusion?
The same. Anyway, yeah. So my personal belief, and this is my belief, this is not word of God. My belief is he went to the island. The story about him with the 2 underage girls is probably true. There was probably video. He was probably an asset for, like, there's tons of information about Epstein introducing him to Russia and working with Russia through Trump. Like, and every other conceivable method of him working for Russia seems to be there. And here's the thing, guys. This is why, just because you don't see the fire, if you see that much smoke, there's probably fire. Like, there's just too much correlating, and aligning information about this stuff to go, no, like, to not believe it. Come on.
Yeah. Hey, everything that we say on this podcast is our own and our opinion. Okay? If we get it wrong, leave it in comments. I may or may not believe you. All right?
Post the links to show us where we're wrong that are to reputable media sources. Like, that's fine. And the reality is, we will never know this answer. It will never come to light. It is gone forever.
What keeps happening when I'm arguing with you guys online is that we get to a point where your source is, trust me, bro.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
Yeah. Well, then trust me, bro.
Yeah, right.
But no.
All right. Alrighty, that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Almost Above Average. If you found the conversation eye-opening or just as wild as the headlines, please make sure to subscribe, leave us a review, and drop a comment with your thoughts. Share this episode with someone who loves a good political mystery, and don't forget, we want to hear from you. Send your feedback to mcmedia.network.llc@gmail.com with the subject feedback. And once again, thank you for listening, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow. Peace.
Zzz.